What's going on, everybody? Mala here. How you guys doing today? Merry Christmas first and foremost. Hope you all had an amazing holiday. Well, the first part of it. Second part is coming up. So let's close 2018 in a higher note. Today, talking about the GSX 1200 Pro from Sennheiser, a gaming amplifier with a 7.1 surround sound engine inside that's gonna make me eat my own words. So let's talk a little bit more about it right after this message from our sponsor. If you've ever been in that situation where you don't have the original file, but you just have to change something on a text that's already in PDF, that's usually a pain, and that's where PDF Element comes in. It's a very easy to use, powerful and light application that basically saves the day. I've been using it for quite a while and it's awesome. Available for PC and Mac, and their mobile versions for Android and iOS are both free. And you guys know that free is always good, right? That's a lie, but in this case it is good. I mean, it's got support for like 9 different languages. There is online support, a community and all that. You're gonna be up and running in no time. Pricing is already pretty good, but check out the links in the description and you can get up to 50% off. There's a Christmas campaign that I'm honestly not even sure if it's out yet. So in case it isn't, this is me getting you guys on the fast track. Thank me later. So take a couple of minutes afterwards and go check them out. It's really worth your time. And thanks again to Wondershare for supporting the show. So, what is the GSX 1200 Pro? Well, it's the $20 more expensive brother of the GSX 1000. The difference between the two, the 1000 and the 1200, is basically the ability of the 1200 to be daisy chained up to 8 times, so you can have a bunch of people in a LAN situation playing together without the need of using Discord or anything like that. It can serve as your communication device system. Now, build-wise, this thing is not that big, so it's not super heavy and it's not super light. The rubber feet on the bottom are probably going to do enough of a job of keeping it in place as you fiddle around with it, you know, turning volume up and down and all that stuff. But be careful because all the connections are on the back. And if you yank on your headphone cable, you're probably going to pull it to the side, and if you're, just leaving it right at the edge of your desk, that can be a problem. So do not leave it at the edge of your desk. This thing is not cheap. You don't want to break it. It's basically made out of plastic aside from the aluminum ring that you use as a volume knob that sits on top of a railing with ball bearings inside. It's really, firm enough, but super smooth to use. It doesn't spin out freely. If you just, really try it, it's not going to do that. And it feels like really solid, it looks really premium. It's a really beautiful device. Oh, and one of the rubber feet on the bottom is actually a flap that you can kick open, so that you can put it at an angle on your desk in case you just want to be able to look at it from a distance more easily. Which kind of defeats the purpose of the fact that when you're not using it for a couple of seconds, it dims down so that you basically can't see anything. So which is it, Sennheiser? You want us to be able to see it more easily, or you want us not to notice that it's there? One of the two, please. Alright, I.O. You have the connections for the daisy chaining, one side to the other right at the back at both of the ends. You have microphone volume in and out on both sides as well, so you can control how much volume is coming from one guy and going to the next, which is also cool. It connects via micro USB to your PC, and you can connect your headphones, microphone, and speaker and control everything through the GSX directly. Well, aside from the microphone, you can't really control microphone volume, but you can at least, plug it separately from your headphones in case you want to use something like a mod mic, for example. Now, on top of the unit, you have all your options. You can toggle stuff on and off through the touchscreen display or the quick preset buttons right at the edges. And when I say buttons, the little strips, the red strips, are not exactly buttons, so don't keep pressing it like a woodpecker. That's not going to work. The area right above or below the little strips is actually where it's, touch sensitive. So that's where you press, either to, toggle something on and off, or long press to, save a new preset with your specific configuration. Now, configuration-wise, what can you do with the GSX? Well, you can toggle between headphones and speakers. You can toggle on and off, and with 2 levels of, how much volume is going to pass through, so that you can hear your own voice through your microphone. If you're using a closed back or noise cancelling headphones, for example, you have presets for nothing, gaming, music, and movies. Gaming and music I found completely useless, but movies actually was really good, worked really well with some games. That's awesome. And right at the bottom you have the magical 7.1 toggle. This is the reason why I said Sennheiser is going to make me eat my own words, because I've said time and again on this channel that 7.1 gimmicks are just that, gimmicks, and I don't think they're worth it. Well, that's because if you're talking about multiple drivers on a headphone, not going to be as good as a real badass stereo pair of headphones. And if you're talking about software, it usually misses the mark by such a long shot that's not even on the same continent. Now, the audio engine inside the GSX actually does it right and breaks that rule like almost 100%. This thing is insane. And as you toggle 7.1, you get two other options popping in. One that will allow you to say that you want more audio coming from the front or the back, or just the same. And another to toggle reverberation. And if you use a open back pair of headphones that has a good soundstage, when you toggle reverb on the one plus sign, no pun intended, that soundstage is gonna go like much wider, like woo! It sounds really good. And then if you toggle the second level, which is two more plus signs, and that would mean a level 3, because there are 3 plus signs. What the hell, Sennheiser? It's either 1 or 2, not 1 or 3. Come on. That's when you get the feeling that the walls of the room you're in are actually the speakers, throwing sound at you, and it sounds insane and really good. When I was playing Witcher 3, the feeling of being inside the woods with the wind rattling the trees and thunderstorms and rain falling, that was all incredible. The 2.0 stereo sound of The Witcher 3 is already really awesome, and if you toggle in movie mode, you get an extra punch. The thuds of stuff falling and hitting and impacts are much more impactful, and it sounds amazing. You feel like you're there. One of the best audio experiences I've ever had in a game by far. But since nothing is perfect, there's also the other side of the fence, where if you're playing a lot of competitive shooters like Overwatch, for example, which I do play, there's a catch. Because in those types of games, directionality of the audio is key. But not only that, depending on how you're playing or what you're doing, knowing how far the audio is on that direction is equally important. Because depending on the map, you know if that person or that enemy is behind the wall, you don't need to worry about him right now, or like right at your side trying to sneak up on you. And that's where things got a little bit wobbly using the 7.1 and the reverb options in the GSX. Because sometimes audio would feel like it was sort of midway to my right, and then suddenly it was like right at my side and I was dead. And then at some other times it sounded like it was just a little farther away from the previous one, so I was instantly worried that something was about to hit me, and then I turned and it was like another country, like super far away to the right. That to me feels more like something about how the sound is processed and mastered by the game itself, like through Overwatch's engine, than what the GSX is trying to do. Because it did that with a couple of different shooter titles and not with others. More competitive ones like Overwatch, for me at least, sounded like that, so I turned it off completely. But that doesn't mean that the sound wasn't better. The quality of what I was listening to was more pleasing than with everything off. Unfortunately, it had that side effect, but if you're just like playing more casually, you just want to have fun, this thing makes pretty much everything I tested sound awesome, like really, really good. So, if you take all that up together, yes, this means I do definitely recommend the GSX 1000 or the 1200 if you have 7 other friends with that much cash to throw at something so that you can play in a LAN situation. This thing is awesome. 7.1 has finally been done right. Sennheiser knows what they're doing. But it starts at $230, so it's definitely not cheap. $250 for the 1200. So, taking that into consideration, this is still an audio engine. What is on your head, actually playing the sounds, is gonna determine if that experience is good, great, or plainly crap. So if you don't really have a good pair of stereo headphones or a good stereo headset, go grab one before thinking about the GSX. because this thing works its magic, but if the quality of the audio coming out of your headphones is crap, the experience is not going to be all that good. You're not going to be taking full advantage of the 230 bucks you just spent. So, don't have any headphones? Go grab one and then think about buying this. If you already have good headphones, then yeah, I do recommend the GSX. Really, really well done here, Sennheiser, like awesome. Oh, and about headphones, I would recommend you guys go for an open back if you can, and on that front, either something like an SHP 9500 from Philips or the Sennheiser Mastrop HD58X Jubilees, because those things, not funny at all. They're literally broken. Absolutely broken. And we're gonna be talking about them right at the start of next year with some goods coming your way, so stay tuned for that. And this is it. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave any comments or suggestions down below as usual if you feel like it. Like, subscribe, hit all the little bell notification, all that stuff. Links down below in the description, Discord and all that. Thanks again to Wondershare for supporting the show. And I'll talk to you guys in the next year. Happy 2019. Have a great New Year's.